Hello, YouTube team. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. Glad you stopped by. Thank you always. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I want to do two-parter. Going to do one today, one tomorrow. So you'll get this one actually probably tomorrow morning, and then I think the next one is like Wednesday. But two parts, two things. First, I want to kind of explore the value of institutional Christianity. And then tomorrow or the next video will be all about personal relationship with Jesus. See, one of the most foundational elements of any religious experience is personal ownership, right? This is universally true. It also echoes Peter's sermon recorded in Acts 2, in which he said, save yourselves from this corrupted humanity or corrupted human nature. Paul's instruction, it echoes Paul's instructions in Philippians 2:12, where it says we should work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. See, we must accept full ownership of our Christian spirituality to maximize its outcome in our lives. Now, it's important to note, though, this personal responsibility forces us to qualify what an appropriate relationship with institutional Christianity should look like, right? And let me illustrate with a few questions what I mean when I say this relationship or describe this relationship. For instance, is the institutionalized church, formal Christian religion, is it responsible to nurture our personal faith or define a standard of faith? Is it responsible to model personal holiness or is it to be the holiness police? How does any of that affect or help a person who is trying to gain the advantages of living with Christ as God's heir? Probably the most explosive question, the most dynamic question is, what does a person owe their church? What does their church owe them in this reciprocal relationship? Right? Is it fair to expect the pastor to have all the answers, to meet every need, to do everything right? How could such an arrangement be healthy? How does that level of accountability and responsibility, how's that healthy for anybody? Conversely, is it reasonable to expect something from a community I contribute nothing to? See, the answers to these questions are really complex, and it relates to how I relate to the church and how the church relates to me, what the church does for me, the formal church, the institutional church, right? So it's an incredibly important discussion. There's a lot of answers. One thing is clear. Reconciling individual and institutionalized Christianity in a healthy way is so valuable, so important, right? It's reconciling this relationship between the personal and the objective, right? It's so healthy. It creates the right relationship between the pulpit and the pews. It helps all the stakeholders know the boundaries. So tomorrow I'll answer or I'll offer some insights into nurturing our personal spirituality. But let me close with three of the many reasons institutionalized Christianity is necessary. Just three of many. First reason is that it makes possible what we call contextualizing the Christian message without losing the core of the Christian faith. See, ethnicity and culture, they are common and fluid phenomenon throughout human history. Right, this is God's plan, most likely enacted at the Tower of Babel. The Christian mission, therefore, must be able to adapt and contextualize itself to find entrance, relevance, and consideration with whomever it interfaces. Right. Additionally, the evolutionary nature of generational succession is really something the church has always had to deal with. Right. For instance, papyrus has necessarily given way to digital media. Owning slaves was a practice within the first century Christian church. That is obviously not something that we can do. We just can't do that now. So this institutional church, it makes it possible for the local church, a local group of people to kind of contextualize and organize themselves in a way that they can gain entrance is necessary and appropriate. Another reason the institutionalized church is necessary is to ensure the integrity of God's original word to everyone, everywhere. For instance, a universally accepted rule within Christian theology is that a passage of the scripture it cannot mean what it did not mean, or it needs to mean what it did mean. A passage must be first and foremost understood to mean what the first author and the first audience would have heard and understood it to mean. Otherwise, anyone, anywhere could make an equally valid claim about any passage of the Bible they wanted to, right? So the institutional church helps us guard against that. So here's the good stuff for today. If you don't have a church, please find one. If you have one and are dissatisfied, communicate that with leadership. Communicate it respectfully, fairly, biblically. Work something out. Be reconciled and move forward in some good way. And owning your Christian spirituality involves participating and contributing to an organized community in which you have a voice and in which you lend a hand. So that's the good stuff for today. The next one, we'll talk about the other side of that coin, which is nurturing your personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Have a good day till then.